let's see. So, ever since I got that account warning, it is extremely difficult to get anyone in my live. Please like, share, and send my live out to your BFFs so that I can have some more opportunities to grow here. All right. Anyways, so my name's Stacy. I'm from Southern Mississippi, and all my family has called me in the past couple days, just really worried about me because there was like so many tornadoes. 100 people died in Mississippi last week, this week. And so I just want to send out some love to everybody who's lost their homes and lost everything in Mississippi the last couple days. I can't imagine. Actually, yes, I'm a Hurricane Katrina survivor. I know exactly how that is. It's horrendous. It's terrible. All the horrible things going on in the world right now is bad enough. Hey there, how are y'all doing? Thanks for coming in. So I'm just trying to let all this heavy weight off of my chest. How's everybody doing? Are y'all surviving out there? It's rough times, isn't it? Anybody in the house? What's up, y'all? I see I got a couple people. People so shy. I know y'all aren't that shy. Come on. How's it going? All right, well, I'm just trying to keep it real. I had to do me a little venting session before I do readings today. I don't even feel like doing readings, to be honest with you. But we have 4 planets in the sky that are lining up right for us to see tonight, including our planet. And I am super excited about that. You may be able to still see it tonight. I think it was last night, though. Tatiana, Lorraine, hey, how are y'all doing? All right. Welcome. Do we have any stargazers in the house? Is there anyone that goes out looking at stars at night? It's so beautiful. And right now, that's about all we can do, right? Everything else is falling apart in the land. Did Arturo cry after the breakup? Alrighty. So that's a yes or no question. I usually don't do these kind of questions, y'all. I feel like I'm not that kind of a psychic. But we'll pull a card for you. Most of the cards have a yes or no answer. Did Arturo cry after the breakup? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for your love. Alright, if you tell me a sign, I could probably tell you. Ooh. Yeah, he might have cried. He definitely might have been crying. Alright, this is the Mason, Master Mason at work. Is he a workaholic? Anyway, he's not getting any work done, so it must be disturbing him. Maria B, does Derek think of me often? Alright, y'all, I don't usually do these type of questions, but that's mainly because I'm not a psychic. I have dreams that are kind of strange and sometimes come to fruition. But I will be happy to pull a card for you. And Maria B, let's see what happened. Derek, think of me often? What's Derek's sign? A Tauro. Oh, why don't you call him Alice? All right, this one is for Marie B. Does Derek think of me often? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Marie B. He is torn. Well, it looks like he was torn between 2 options. So maybe you need to call him because he obviously has 2 options. And it may not be 2 people. It could be an opportunity, multiple opportunities, or just other worldly things that he has to get done. All right. Now this is kind of like powerful. This is like a powerful card. As you can see, he might have had multiple opportunities and he didn't want to put you through this, such as college. A lot of people will break up before they go to college so as not to endure the heartache. Things of that nature. Job opportunities. Could have been another lover. He's a Pisces. All right, Pisces is very all in. They're not very shady. They're pretty straight up honest with you. So, let me see. And then we have Aries. Okay. So, Miss Uniquely Me. He's an Aries. All right, Aries is fire signs. So they're definitely going to be just, jumping into the next thing. Like, Aries is all about success. And they are going to do whatever it takes to get the success that they need in their life. All right. I don't have his number. Oh, sorry, honey. I'm Ani. Will James contact me soon? Will James contact me soon? All right, you know that I highly recommend that you all rely on your own personal intuition, all right? Because if I don't know the situation and I don't know these people, I honestly do not feel correct or right in any way, shape, or form in driving people's relationships. The only reason I do this is to help people who are struggling. All right, so I highly recommend that you go with your gut intuitions. I obviously cannot make these claims without some moral guidance, right? So I have been through some pretty hard times, though. So I do have a little bit of experience there. All right. Roman, I'm sorry, I can't accept that right now at this moment. All right. Amani, will James contact me soon? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for your love. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for your love. Amani. Is James thinking about Amani? Let's see what the cards say. Oh, okay. So it looks like he may be overwhelmed. This is the Back from Battle card. And this means that he has been exhausted and it's time for him to rest. For whatever reason, he's put his swords on the wall, he has laid his sword down. He's no longer fighting. Now, in a love sense, this may mean that he is unable right now. He's just too overwhelmed. Maybe he is coming out of a different relationship or a financial situation that's got him overwhelmed. I know that right now for me, it's a lot of work just to get the bills paid. All right. So I would say no. He's probably not going to contact you in this state. But as you can see, there's a picture on the window in the background. And it's a lady and a child, and she's reaching out to this child. So this is a sign that maybe there's something else going on in the situation, okay? Jesus is Lord. Hallelujah. All right, Maria Scorpio. Does Gilbert Libra really love me? All right. So Scorpio, we're going to go definitely by signs because I can definitely tell you more about your love life based on your sign than the cards will give us. But we're gonna first go into Scorpio is a water sign and Libra is an air sign. So definitely these are a good match, okay? Scorpio should be a pretty darn good, with an air sign. Scorpio's natural soulmate is actually Taurus, but that's the opposite. That's complete opposite. So Scorpio's opposite may be an earth sign, but the air sign, Libra, is also a very good match. Or at least I've known some Scorpios that were a good match for Libra, definitely. All right, so the difference is whenever you're a Scorpio and you're a water sign and your opposite is going to be an air sign. So air signs are kind of flighty. They're like fight or flight. So if you get in an altercation with any air sign, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Gemini probably not so much because they're Mercury based. Their planet is Mercury, so they may not run for it quite as fast. But definitely, Libras are going to be flighty. So you want to be very careful when you're talking to any air sign because they're going to remember what you said forevermore. All right? And they might take it very much so to heart. Okay. Pam, will Adam start communicating with this week? All right. So, disclaimer, I'm not a psychic. I am an astrologer, and I can help better if I know the signs. All right, so if you'd like to put the signs in there, then I can give you a much better idea as to whether or not you are compatible. And I can pull a card for you. Pam, are you still with us? Hey there, Stevens Sean. How are we doing? You like challenges? Yes, of course I like challenges. Life's too short. What kind of challenge are we talking about here? All right, bring it. Yes, I can. That red balloon is creeping me out, though. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm not blowing up balloons, okay? I do have a bunch of makeup sitting right next to me, though. I could at least dress up like a clown, right? Get out of here. I'm not going to do it. Challenge yourself, silly. All right. The challenge is astrological. Do you have any balloons? No. Darn, I wish I did have a balloon. Do you have a question? Question that I can answer? I used to do that for a living, but thank goodness there was a helium tank and I didn't have to do all that. No. Go to Walmart and get them to blow some balloons up for you. Jeez. Fertility questions? You know what? I am not a doctor and I am not a psychic, but I have been struggling with fertility for a long time. So if you would like my personal experience, then sure, go ahead. But no, I don't know if you're going to get pregnant in the future. I can only just tell you what hormones may help you to get pregnant or stop you from getting pregnant. So, for example, if you have too much estrogen in your body, it actually turns into testosterone. And the only way to get it out is one of those like sweat lodges, you go in the sweat lodge. But that is really bad for your eggs, for your fertility. So There's other ways that you can get fertility. Actually, it runs in my family. Several of my family members are struggling with fertility, and I have found that that you can go to the doctor, especially if you're younger. When you get older, they will sit there and tell you that you can't, you're too old for that. But, you know, it really just depends on how healthy you are as to whether or not they decide to let you do fertility medications. There's a ton of natural remedies, but you really have to do your research and talk to someone who's a professional in that area. Definitely. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Thank you for the roses. Oh my gosh. These creditors have been calling me all day. I'm like, if one more person calls me. All right, so I was reading all about our stars and the planets. And it turns out that with the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, and that it is going to be very reminiscent of the Renaissance. And who doesn't love the Renaissance, right? Thank you. Do you have a question, Kay Craig? Or would you just like me to pull some cards for you, Craig? No. All right, y'all. Everybody be sure to go like Craig. Okay, see, I have Baby Yoda looking over my shoulder. See him there in the closet? He's gonna bless this reading. All right, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for your... Craig, do you need a love reading? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Craig. All right, I don't know if he's still in the house, but since he sent me a couple roses, I think we're gonna give him some cards. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for your love. All right, and it's Taurus season, which means that you're going to be feeling as irritable as a bull. No one is going to be able to change your mind on anything. And if you think that you're going to change somebody's mind on something, well, you better be ready to grab them by the horns and ride it out. Ooh, okay, we got success, full blown, 100% success. And it looks like you're riding off into the future with, you know, everything going your direction. And you know, the white horse is representing a prosperity. All right, so that's your central and present issue. All right, so I don't know how success can be an issue, but I do happen to have personal experience in thinking that, you know, you do get this feeling like once I get financial security, that everything will just fall right into place. And isn't it unfortunate when you find out that money can't buy happiness? No matter what Ariana Grande says, okay? It really can't. But it can buy you a lot of things. All right, this is for what's crossing you. Okay, normally I just pull one at a time, but since I don't really know... Yes, okay. What's crossing you? The Star card. I really can't show this one without a whole lot of coverage. So it's a lady, and she is vulnerable. We're going to say vulnerable. And she is pouring water out onto the ground, and she is pouring water out into a little river or lake, like a puddle. All right, so the weird thing about this card is she has one foot in the water and one knee on the ground. So that means that this is really a prosperous card, though. It's a very, very good card. The This shows all kind of prosperity. You know, she's got more than enough overflowing. She can pour all her water out on the ground over here. But she's got one foot in the water and one knee on the ground. So she's not really decided what she's going to do. But let's pull a card for your distant past. Now, this is what's crossing you. So maybe there's a lady in your life or a person in your life who isn't really there. They are stable, but they're not being stable with you. They're giving you the runaround. Okay, or somebody for that matter. And then we have Taurus energy right away. This is in your distant past. We've got this Taurus energy, very strong energy. Now, this is the type of energy where everything has to be just so. I would say kind of like motherly energy. Like any little thing is out of place, it's going to bother them to their end days. It's going to keep them up at night. All right? It's the distant past. So that's something that you had to deal with at one point, but no longer. So, Craig, are you still with us there? I only have one person in the house. It must be Craig, yeah? Okay, Craig, are you there? All right, well, we're going to keep on going because this reading is pretty good, actually. All right, so we got the immediate future. All right, and another financial stability card. All of the cards so far are reminiscent of stability. And this one is specifically for Libra. See how they hold the balance in their hand? All right, so balance is extremely important, but this card is about charity. And it's funny because I just received some charity from this very reading. Thank you very much. So definitely the balance for charity is making sure not to give too much so that you're struggling. But, to help people who are struggling if you can, which I do always. And it's a very good advice. You always want to help people if you're able. All right, and then we've got factors affecting the situation. It seems like there was some type of bad situation. In your factors affecting the situation are typically your friends, family, people around you. Somebody's running away from a bad situation. See how they're being saved, but the boat that they're jumping into has swords in it? I did not like that, but it's reversed. And as a matter of fact, it's been so long since I've seen this card reversed. I'm going to have to look it up, because what in the world does that mean, right? All right, so it's the it's a six of swords. Swords are associated with air signs, so this definitely could be Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius energy. And this is like the hero, but he had good intentions gone awry, but it's reversed. So maybe it worked out anyway, even though it was a bad situation. All right, so six of swords reversed. Interrupted plans for travel. Trying to move forward, yet the other party is unwilling. Alternate plans should be made. All right, so if you had plans and they fell through, or if you maybe have some upcoming plans that fell through, then be wary, because they might give you some issues there, okay? All right, and then we have external influences. External influences. Oh, this is a good one. All right, so it's got a salamander in the cup. I always think about, if you cut off like the salamander's tail, it'll grow back. Okay. So this is resilience, in my opinion, and spontaneity. All right, spontaneity, resilience, happy-go-lucky, Cups are water signs, if that means anything to you. And red is associated with financial stability and financial gain. All right. So that's your external influences. So that's not necessarily you, but someone around you, or maybe even a job or opportunity. But that's great because that's kind of a sign that it is okay to be spontaneous. If you get a wild, crazy situation, it's okay to jump into it. It's okay to be spontaneous. And hopes and fears. Hopes and fears. All right, so this typically means that you're looking to leave. As you can see, he's out there on the edge of the water. He's looking off into the distance. He's thinking about choosing. He's got multiple options to choose from, but he doesn't really know if he wants to go. He's thinking about it. Alrighty, and then we have final outcome. Oh, this is my favorite card in the deck, Nostalgia. Nostalgia. So basically it's upside down, so you may be missing some of the nostalgia, missing out on some of the nostalgia that you've been wanting in your life. But basically this is a picture of a mother planting seeds with her daughter, and they're just now seeing the growth. And this is all about water signs, overflowing, happiness, and growth. And that's the final outcome. Unfortunately, it is reversed. So that may mean that you're going to have to work for it to get it. Your crops may not come up as you had planned, but you definitely put the work in and you tried to make it happen. Let's get a solidifier on that, because that's it's not really a straight answer, is it? Stevens Sean, welcome back. Oh, okay. All right. Final answer. Oh no. It's the River of Tears. But it's reversed. So maybe it was recently the River of Tears. But finally, you realize that you had other cups right here that hadn't spilled over yet, right? Sometimes we don't even notice when we're crying. On River of Tears, this is a really sad card. It has to do with depression and not realizing what opportunities you have. Sometimes we don't even realize how many people are willing to help us. But as you can see, there are cups that are full. Not all of them have been knocked over. And this is the 5 of Cups. All right, so 5s are associated with moving forward, change, and unfortunately, it is hard. Change is just something that's difficult. And I would say this is a pretty well-rounded reading. For the full message, in case you missed it, basically it's saying that, once you reach stability, that money cannot always buy happiness. Sometimes there's things that leave us with a river of tears, but it's okay to pay attention to the other little things in the background, like your other cups. Maybe you're not recognizing that you still have 2 cups that are overflowing. Alrighty, so I have my grandparents' gambling deck that they got in Las Vegas. So for a little extra luck, let's pull some regular old cards. Oh, okay, so we got the 2 of Spades, and that would be air signs once again. All right, 2 of Swords. Typically this means that you're overlooking something. another card saying that you're overlooking something. So you may not have noticed what's going on. Anybody else in the house? Last call. I think I'm going to do myself a reading. Just so irritated these days with all that's going on in the world. Alrighty, so let's talk about the planets some more. We've got Saturn in Pisces, Mercury in Aries, Neptune moving into Pisces. The masses are confused. Boundaries are blurred. Pluto's going into Aquarius, probably going out of Aquarius by now, maybe. No, I think Pluto is a long transit. Let me see. And then we also have Venus in Taurus. Requires predictability. And Taurus, whenever I think of Taurus, I always think of the stars that are Taurus. Adele is a Taurus. Queen Elizabeth was a Taurus. So is Lizzo. Janet Jackson is also a Taurus. And hey, Pamela Joyce, how are you doing? All right. Does anybody else want a free reading? Free readings today. Nobody? All right, y'all. I'm at 10% on my... I'm at 10% on my phone. Last call. Last call for a reading. I feel like somebody's watching me while they're doing dinner or something, because I have this one person in here that's not saying anything. So shy, huh? Alright, well, we're doing some free readings. If you would like a free reading, please let me know. Alrighty, so I'm going to go over the Farmer's Almanac for today. So today is what day is today? The 26th? Monday the 27th. Alright, so today's the 27th and it is March, so it's a Gemini moon tonight. Gemini is air sign, in case you're not familiar. Gemini moon. Yeah, it's March, okay. So let's take a quick look. I have this great deck that I bought because I really didn't understand the houses. And so I bought this deck so I could get a little more comfortable with talking about the houses. And you really can't do a birth chart unless you understand the houses. So let's just do a little info here on houses. So when you look up at the sky, there is a degree. There's, conjunction is 0 degrees. Opposition is 180 degrees. So these are some of the things that will help you decipher your zodiacs. So first and foremost are the houses. So when you look up at the stars, the first house is the realm of self. This is Aries. All right. So if you're born with Scorpio in your first house, then you're going to have a lot of these type of traits. With your self, those traits are going to be related to the planet, whatever was born, whenever you were born, whatever the planets. So, for example, you look here, and when you were born, whatever was in this first house, whatever planet, then that is how you're associated with these particular traits in your life. So, for example, for me, I had a bunch of planets in my second house, and the second house is the realm of values. So I do have, this is Taurus. The zodiac ruler for the second house is Taurus. So I was born with Virgo and 2 or 3 planets in my second house. So therefore, I have a bunch of different values, things that are affecting my values. All right. So the second house is where issues related to our finances, security, and our personal values live. How we attract money and how we treat it once we have it is determined by this house. Oh, is that why I'm like Donald Duck? Okay. All right. So someone who has a stellium of planets in the second house can be overly fixated on money and possessions. They can go back and forward between feeling of security, securing financially, and not having enough to cover their needs. The planet that is transiting the second house can stir up lots of different feelings. Okay, so for example, if you are trying to figure out, what you want to do with your life, the second house is the house of values. So let's say you go and you look up, you do it yourself. You don't pay someone else to do it for you. You go ahead and you look it up yourself and you find out what is in your second house. This is going to help you decipher what the planets are saying is going to be your true value to your life. All right, so that's like your calling, right? And then if you want to know who your soulmate is, then you would look for your 7th house. So in the 7th house, hold on, I'm going to read it to you. All right, the 7th house, the realm of partnerships. All right, so this is Libra. This is an air sign. But the reason why it has to do with your love is because it's the planetary ruler Venus, which is the planet of love. All right. So then we have air signs and whatever. Now me, nothing is in my 7th house. So what does that mean? That means that I just don't get a soulmate? What does that mean, right? All right. So it says the planetary ruler of the 7th house is Venus, and it is also the traditional home of Libra. It is here that we navigate our relationships with other people. How we interact with others, with the one-on-one or in a team, is determined by this house. All right, so most people worry that if they have an empty 7th house, this is what I was telling you about, with my own chart. All right, so I'm looking, there's nothing there. All right, that they will never get married and they will never find a best friend or be part of a group. And this is not true at all. You may just refuse to settle for anything less than your idea of perfection. All right, so I do get this a lot as a Virgo. People seem to think that Virgos are just irrational and you never are satisfied. That is not true, okay? Not all Virgos are like that. You may also be drawn to unconventional relationships. When an inner planet transits through this house, relationship issues are reflected back at us with intensity. Okay. The cusp of the seventh house is what is known as the descendant, as the opposite of the ascendant, the first house, which is it's here that we look outside of the self and discover what we find appealing and attractive in other people. Someone with a descendant in Aquarius is going to be drawn to people from all walks of life. Okay, so that's me. And it's true. I very much so have, I have friends from all different cultures. I always thought it was because I used to be a Jehovah's Witness. So I learned a lot about different cultures when I was trying to turn people into my religion. But now that I'm a little bit older, and you just can't unhear these things that people tell you about their religions. And it really does awaken your soul. Okay. So it says, whereas someone with a Virgo descendant is going to look for someone who shares a similar background. All right. So it really does depend on you, your sign, and where your planets fall within the houses, right? So if you'd like to do if you would like me to do a reading for you, based off of your birth sign. Okay, so you don't have to get somebody else to do it for you. You can do it yourself if you download certain apps, but they do sell your information, and so it just depends on who you go through. I have this downloaded on my computer, so I can pull it up and check all that without it going through an app. It's going to be harassing you day in and day out. But yeah, your birth chart is pretty easy to find. I actually, I looked up my birth chart, and you need your birth certificate to tell you what time you were born, or your mom, if your mom's still around, or dad. And then once you enter that information in there, it'll tell you have to put in where you were born, what time you were born, and your date of birth. And for me, I was born, with all these different planets in the second house. And so I definitely feel that though. But most of my planets are in Virgo. And like my ascendant, my sun, and my rising sign are all Virgo. So that just didn't really resonate with me. I was like, I don't feel that Virgo. I feel, I don't know, it's, different. And so I started to look into my Vedic astrology, which is basically just a hair different. So somewhere in this time frame, planets continually go out farther, farther, farther out. It changes our astrology, just a hair, not a bunch. But now the center of the earth, the axes have swapped. So that has messed with everything. And it kind of does make you wonder, like, if the poles are switching, does that affect our astrology? Yes, I've Googled it. Yes, I've researched it. I really don't know. I don't know how it affects our astrology, but I think that it definitely is affecting us, because look at the world. Everybody has gone batshit crazy. And there's wars, there's famines, there's floods, there's just like apocalyptic everything. And, mainstream scientists don't believe in astrology, right? But, if the shoe fits. Alrighty, y'all. Thanks for staying. Anybody else in the house? My phone's at 2%. If you really want a personal reading, it's $22.22. If you want a birth chart reading, it's $11.11. And you can send it to my Cash App for a donation, and I'll be happy to hook it up. Otherwise, if you'd like to see this information again about your different houses, then you can check out my YouTube channel. I will most likely repost this later on YouTube. Good night.